Hello, and so last lesson you were looking at the details about whether or not the New Deal was successful. Today we're going to build on that to be able to make a final judgment. So before we get going, we just need to recap what our criteria for success was. So in addition to any others that you might have come up with, we are thinking about the extent of money that people had and the extent of employment. We are thinking about welfare systems in place to support those who were unemployed or who didn't have enough money. We are thinking about the extent to which people supported Roosevelt and the Democrats. And we are thinking about how far all groups experienced progress. So reminding ourselves to think about Black Americans and women as well as the standout figures. So you looked at the success or failure by colour coding. You will need that sheet today. And you also looked at opposition to the New Deal. So you will also need that information today. Obviously we can't think pair share, but you might be able to grab someone in your household. But if not, just have a think to yourself, maybe jot down some ideas. I want you to consider all of the evidence that we've looked at so far and think about the criteria that we've come up with. And I want you to make a judgment to say how successful the New Deal was. And you need to remember to say why. So some key vocabulary to think about is those measuring words. So how far was it successful? Was it somewhat successful, mostly successful, hugely, limited? Stretch your vocabulary here and think about what extent of success there is. Also want you to think about how you might link those ideas together. So if you say it was successful, what evidence do you have to support that? And how does it show that? So thinking about these linking and explaining connectives here. So this is just an initial judgment. We're going to go through in a bit more depth about how you might answer that type of question in a moment. Okay, so your final task today is a bit of exam practice. So you need to be thinking about how far Roosevelt's policies changed the economic situation in the USA between 1933 and 1939. So you can use any of the information from this New Deal onwards. So you're including the alphabet agencies, you're including the second New Deal. You can think about the impact of that as well. Now, the way that you answer this question is by opening your answer with a statement that gives your judgment. So thinking back to our previous work here, thinking about just make your judgment. Was it somewhat successful? Was it partly successful? Okay, how far did he change the economic situation? Did he totally change the economic situation? Did he partly change the economic situation? What was it like before? How is it different after Roosevelt? You need to give 2 factors to support your judgment. So if you say that it's completely changed the economic situation in the USA, you need to give 2 bits of evidence to support that. You then need to come to an overall conclusion. So you've opened your answer with a statement, it was completely successful or it was barely successful, and then you need to back that up again and use your criteria from before. So if we're saying that it changed the economic situation, you can use similar criteria to what we were using before. So did more people have jobs? Did more people have more money? Were people supported if there were economic hardships? Did everybody experience progress? Okay? So, your final task, is to have a go at answering that question. It's only a 6-mark question, so you don't want to be spending any more really than 10 minutes answering this. If you finish that, then you can highlight your AO1 and AO2 in your answer. Your work from today should be submitted via Show My Homework or emailed to your teacher. If you have any questions or you need any more help, then just use the comment section on Show My Homework. Good luck!